viewers, and welcome to episode 387 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for September 3rd, 2022. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nixon, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
All right, man. We finally in September. August is finally over. Man, August went by pretty fast for me. That kind of went off like a blink of the eye. Like, so happy, and my phone is ringing. So hold on. I'm back.
Okay.
All right. So I'm just gonna get right to it. So we got Oreo still doing great.
Nice.
They are I wouldn't say great, but they're doing good. And
yeah, I saw they won yesterday.
Yeah, and they're only last time I saw it, they were a game and a half behind, but I don't know if it's 2 games or so now, but they're right there. They're like the outside looking in, but not that far. And they beat some good teams recently. They beat Houston, who was number 1 in the American League, and they beat the Guardians, who are number 1 in their division. So they've proven that they could beat playoff teams. They just gotta try to win it out, man. It's gonna be tough though. Yankees have been losing, man, because now we're at the point where the Orioles are not double digits behind the Yankees anymore. They are single. Yankees only won, I believe, 79 games. Orioles just won 70. I mean, at one point in the season, Yankees were almost like 30 games ahead of the Orioles. So they have, ever since the All-Star break, Yankees have probably been one of the worst teams as far as records. They should have been got 80 games. They should have been won 81 games now. Yeah. It's kind of ridiculous, and Yankee fans are just pissed. They are. It's just such a dramatic shift of what you saw from this team at the beginning of the season till now. Because you see, even the teams that's in their division, like Tampa Bay and Toronto, are proven to look like they're better than the Yankees now. Even though their record-wise, they're not, only because of the beginning of the season. And Yankees didn't have any huge injuries, so the question is, what the hell happened? I guess did people catch up with them? Did they figure them out? I don't know. Dodgers are still killing. I mean, Dodgers are just, they're loaded. They're so loaded that it's kind of hard to stop them. Even though they did lose the series, though, to the Mets. And I think the Mets won the overall series, so that could be a future, championship in the National League. I know Atlanta's still in there, though. The defending champs, they're behind the Mets, though, but not too far. But those are 2 good teams. Like, all those teams, they got the Padres, even though that Tatis Jr. thing happened. Yeah. Padres still a decent team. They might get to the playoffs. It's not a guarantee because there's still other teams fighting for that spot, too. But yeah, baseball, man, is coming down to wire. Maybe in September. This is the last month until the postseason, until the fall classic, and then they get rolling. NFL starts next week, so everybody's ready for that. College football starts today as of this podcast.
Oh, man.
Even though technically it started last week, and I was kind of pissed off because they had College Game Day on, and they were advertising games. And I was like, man, it was some good games on that's going to come on. And I was thinking, last week. And then I waited, and then I didn't see them. I mean, I looked on the schedule. I was like, they showing these games for next week. And then I figured out that what they're doing is something weird. Like, they combine either the first 2 weeks as 1 week or calling that week 0. And I'm thinking, why did you have College Game Day and talk about games that's happening this week if they're not happening yet? You could have just
when you're just going to have College Game Day and talk about the games again this week.
It pissed me off because I was thinking I was about to see some good games and then nothing. And I was like, wow, y'all just couldn't wait a week. I couldn't wait a fucking week.
Nope.
But anyway, I know Maryland plays a team today, and hopefully they win. I don't know who they're playing against. Maryland versus who? Buffalo Bills. Bulls. They call them Buffalo Bulls. Okay.
Buffalo Bulls.
Yeah. So I guess Bill is the guy who's ride the Bulls. So, there you go. That's how they did it. What else is there? Well, it's some big games. You got Ohio State playing. Darn, who was it? Ohio State's playing a big team. Notre Dame. All right. Yes. Oh yeah. That's
okay.
right. Yeah, I want them to lose Notre Dame because I don't like Catholics. But Irish Catholics, I don't like. But I was joking. But no. But I am rooting for Ohio State. I know it's my friend's favorite team. Yeah. So that's it. Oh, yeah, I think about Ohio State. I think one of the kids who got paid, like they got paid the nil they call it. I forgot what that stood for. But you know, because people can, you can get some sort of payment from things now in college, sports now, and I forgot how much he got paid, but he used all that money to buy suits for all his teammates, and I think it's like 120 people on the team in college, because like for suits for them to have when they go to games, because you're supposed to wear a suit before the games, and I think that pretty much comes out your own pocket, so not everybody has the same type of suit, but hey, he gave them money so everybody can have a suit like they didn't have to pay for themselves to have.
Nice.
And yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
He was trying to tell him here, this is for job interviews because you ain't making it to the big leagues.
All right, so what else is going on? Anything big happen else? I don't think so. So any big wrestling news happen?
Not really. This weekend is kind of a big wrestling weekend. There's a WWE show that starts actually in like an hour because they're doing it overseas in Wales. Clash at the Castle. I talked a little bit about that in the past. They're doing that, and then tomorrow is going to be an NXT event as well as an AEW pay-per-view. So next week I'll probably talk about a lot of wrestling.
All right, so I guess we get into what we were watching. So I guess you could go ahead and start with yours because I watched the other two shows you watched.
Gotcha. So She-Hulk then, I guess.
Oh shit! I keep thinking Hot D is another movie that dang I forget that means House of the Dragon. Okay, so I watched all the shows you watched.
Okay.
All right, so start with She-Hulk.
Yeah, we'll start with She-Hulk because once again, like, there's not really a lot to talk about with it. It's just an enjoyable kind of short thing. This one, they do lean a little more into her talking to the camera a little bit and more of the courtroom drama bits. I thought Wong appearing on there because, you know, in the last episode, they're like, oh my goodness, Neil Blonsky has escaped from prison. So they're trying to explain that away with, you know, Wong taking him to the fight club that you see in I think it was Shang-Chi where you see that. So yeah, I thought this episode was another enjoyable episode. What'd you think?
Yeah, I disagree. I didn't like this.
You didn't like it?
I didn't like this episode really that much.
No.
It was really just so tongue in cheek that it was just sort of unbearable. That I was glad it was this is only 30 minutes because the whole Wong coming, like him just being just everybody's just comic relief. It's just it's just so much. It's just too much. And I was like, oh, now he just over here like jokes and like, oh look, it's Megan Thee Stallion, and oh that's funny. And then a guy who's just misogynistic and stuff and doing things like, oh look, they making fun of him. Look at him. And then oh look, they're putting tweets of stuff that's actually or things on social media that was actually there that people actually said, and they're they have it on the show. It was just like, I don't know. I was like, man, it felt like a total waste. Like, I mean, the only thing I liked was the parole board that they were doing for Bolonsky. That was all right. I mean, I think that was fine. It's just with everything else, it just didn't do it for me. Like I said,
Gotcha.
At this point, I'm only watching it. Well, I was only watching it because you and my friends are watching it. But other than that, it's not It's all right. I mean, the first episode I did like. This one is just like, okay, I'm getting what this is, and I'm not. I don't know. It's just not there. It's not there for me, man.
Yeah.
All right. So what'd you watch?
All right, so I'm going to start with Lord of the Rings here. Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. This started on Amazon this week with 2 episodes. I know you said you stopped halfway through or so the first episode, right?
Yes. Yeah. I was kind of I was watching it, but then it was very boring. So I was kind of doing some other things, and then I didn't really see it pick up. I stopped at when they were doing the elves were like, I don't know what they were doing, but they were crowning Galandria or something, and they're saying like, hey, we don't have to fight anymore or something like that. And
they're sending her off to like like I didn't really understand it. Like, are they going to the afterlife, or because they live forever they just go off to an island that's basically like heaven for them or something like that?
Well, I thought that's just where they were from, because that's where they left.
That's what it is.
That's where they left. They left the place they said they were going, like Valandria or something like that. I forgot. But it seemed like they were just going back. I mean, they were sending them back, and I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, and that's sort of where I stopped at. I mean, I seen the stuff with the hobbits, and it was, I mean, so far what I've seen was boring, and like it was really nothing going on. I was kind of looking up to see how other people felt, and I kind of saw that with other people saying the same thing, and some critics too. And they saw 2 episodes, and so I was like, man, I hope it picks up the 3rd episode then.
Yeah, because I can confirm the 2nd episode does not really pick at the very end.
So there was 2 episodes? There were 2 episodes they gave?
Yeah, they released 2 episodes.
Oh, shit. Ain't no way in hell I'm watching 2 hours of that.
Yeah, it picks up a little bit. Like, you start to see a direction where it's going, but it really is slow, and it's not... Like, it's very high production value. It looks good. It's well done. But, like, comparing it to House of the Dragon, like, it doesn't have, like, the palace intrigue stuff that I find to be really interesting in House of the Dragon. So there's not a lot going on there. Like, there's a little bit of combat here and there just to spice things up, but it's not enough to really spice it up at all. It's very like family friendly nerd, like original nerd, fantasy stuff. Whereas like what we're seeing nowadays with like Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon, it's very much like, we're going to gear this towards adults, maybe a little too much. And also like, maybe a little too much. So like having these 2 shows on at the same time, I don't think is going to do Lord of the Rings any favor unless it really picks up, outside of like giving people who think House of the Dragon or Game of Thrones is too much kind of a place to have some fantasy world stuff. And maybe that's what they're going for. Because I don't expect to see, like hardcore fucking and like unnecessary levels of gore in this Lord of the Rings show at all.
But that's not the problem I have with it. Having any of that stuff, it's just the story is so basic. And look, I even see an article. I'm curious because CNN being a very liberal thing, even though I heard now some kind of conservative, but not based on the news I've seen recently. I was like, I think it's very much liberal. I mean, maybe they even have an article that says when wokeness comes to Middle Earth, why some say diverse casting ruins the show, ruins the new Lord of the Rings series. And
really,
I'm curious about that.
I mean, I have no attachment to the books. I don't know. Maybe it's like one of those types of things where it's like in the book it says this person has fair skin and is this, and like I don't know. To me, just watching it, it doesn't feel like I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe there's a black elf now or something like that. That's not a huge thing. I mean, that's The Witcher is like that. The Witcher has a lot of a diverse casting as far as they made The Witcher woke too.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, they have a diverse casting with a lot of different races. Even though it's funny when people say, "Oh, it's diverse casting," but for me, I'm like, they're all British. Yeah, that's like I was like, what the fuck is so diverse about that? I don't look at it like, oh, it's a black one. I mean, it's black, but it's like, it's a black Brit. I mean, that's all it is. It's like I don't see a whole lot of they're all kind of foreign actors. So, I mean, that's all right. I mean, that's fine. But I damn sure ain't going to be like that. Like, even if there was diverse, it's not a problem. But I'm not going to even say it's diverse. I'm not going to use that as even a calling card. Like, hey, this is good because it is diverse. Like, oh, whatever, man. That's not that people do have a problem with that. I know. I didn't really bother really get into depth with it, but that's definitely not the problem for me because I don't. Yeah, but first of all, I don't know the books, but it's just a story, man. It's just the pacing. It's like, dude, you gotta pick it up. Like you gotta do something, man, to keep me woke up, man. Actually, literally woke. Like, that's what I mean. Like,
I definitely went to sleep in the middle of the second episode yesterday. I was like, I'm not going to stay up any later and try and sit through this. I'll pick it up in the morning. And yeah, sure enough, it did not pick up much. So I would have definitely just fallen asleep during that show had I tried to stay up and watch it.
Yeah, maybe it picks up in the third. But yeah, I'm not interested to see it. Like, I'm going to wait till I see reviews. If the reviews didn't like the third one, I'm not going to bother.
Yeah.
Like, I'm already spending time watching She-Hulk. I think that's more than enough of my time being wasted. All right, so I guess we could talk about House of the Dragon.
Yeah. So what did you think of this episode?
Oh, I enjoyed it. I liked how the girl, she came with her dragon. Well, that's spoilers. I'm just going to spoil it. When they went to that castle, whatever.
Dragon's Keep or something, I think.
And they met with the brother who wants to be king, and he's basically just putting it down like, hey, I'm the future king, like I'm the heir right now. Like, he's not
drama is full on at this point because it's I think based on what I've heard people say, it basically skips like about 6 months between the last episode and this episode.
I mean, it said that during the show.
Oh, did it? Oh,
yeah.
I completely missed that.
Yeah, I mean, because they said it's been 6 months since he left.
Oh,
a guy said that.
Gotcha.
And it looked like it was going to be a fight, but her coming with that dragon, I actually liked it. I was like, oh man, how is this going to go? And when she came with her dragon, I said, see, look, they got a dragon on their side, so it's even. Even though her dragon's a little bit smaller, but I don't think that matters.
It's not about the size of the dragon.
Because all I'm saying is that the other dragon got a longer neck, and I'm just saying that's to make it easier for you to bite on it. That's all it is.
Yeah,
it wasn't a lot of action, but it wasn't really none really. But it was a lot of tension. It was tension, and also him trying to get an heir, an heir to the throne.
Even though he said Rhaenyra is going to be the next in line, he's still like, I got a backup plan here. Yeah,
well, he has to, because that's what the people want. Well, most of the realm, like the big wigs, basically. Yes. Really, they want it.
They
like
want
a
him to
heir.
fuck a 11-year-old or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Anybody like to have a baby? Yeah, I mean that's hey. I mean, back in times of something of similar note, that's what they did. Even though I still make me feel very uncomfortable. I was so weird, and I could tell. Like, I'm glad they had the girl. Because first I was thinking, like, is she just bad at reading the script? Or is she really, this is her reading the script that's actually part of the movie, though? Like,
she's just reciting what her parents told her.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. And or it could have been just good, like, hey, she's a bad actor, but hey, if you make it actually a good part.
They got her on set. They're like, oh god, she's bad. Let's make this a plot point.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, and I like they said this is what your father said to tell me. Yep. Yeah, I'll just say, oh yeah, that definitely sounds like us. I can't believe she would just say that. And yeah, it just made it weird. But I knew you had to know it was coming when his hand's daughter, when the hand told his daughter to go with the king. Yeah, I knew that was coming, and like, or something was coming. I didn't know it was gonna be like he just bees with her, like just falls for her. But this is a interesting way to do it too. Like, he just, hey, I'm going to be with her. I mean, I'm already comfortable with her, so if I'm going to be with her, fine, might as well have her to help me with that, bringing the kingdom together, keeping the kingdom together. And I mean, I know it's the daughter's upset because that's her friend. And like that's very awkward. But
you need stepmoms, your best friend.
Yeah, and it kind of sucks because I don't get her being close to anybody else in that place except for her. And somewhat her uncle, but the uncle's gone.
Right.
And now, and basically she's kind of opposing to help me, kind of opposition now because her being the heir.
Yeah.
So now she has this woman who's going to be her stepmom, who was her best friend. It's like, I wonder how they do it. Like, is she going to feel alone, or will she still connect with her, or she's going to find someone else to connect with? Yeah, I wonder how that works. And basically, I know her father. I mean, I do like how they do with the father, with how even though he's of the traditional ways, he still loves his daughter. He still wants her. He doesn't want to be in opposition of her. Like, he doesn't want her to to dislike him or anything. But he knows. But like she even said, that the realm comes first. So it's sad that they can't just have her be the heir and they be fine with it. And if he finds love, he finds love. You know, it just that happens. But you know, this is politics. It's political. This is more than that. Which is it's still the same now. I mean, it's just different. It's a little different, but it's still the same.
Everybody's playing the game.
I mean, because look at all the couples that you see in politics.
Oh yeah.
Like what those look at each one does. So you know they just like, I fell in love with him.
You're positioning yourself to.
Yeah, but
that's not to say that people don't love each other. No.
But it's also not coincident that's the circles they're around either. To have that is the person they end up liking.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just that with this whole other thing with like for them to be okay with you could be my daughter. Not only that she is 11 or 12 or where the hell she was, her cousin. That's basically his. I mean, his niece.
Apparently, the whole thing with this show is like all the Targaryens are just fucking incest monsters anyway. So like, it was that's just the way it is.
But I mean, age is the way it is too. I mean, if you want to go by that, but I'm just saying, like, just to say, like, for them to be okay with it like that, and like, damn, I was like, but I think somebody did a joke about how in real life, I forgot what it was. One of the kings from somewhere. It wasn't England. It was I don't know, French king or Spanish king. But like how they were built on incest, like their family tree. But they said it actually, and like you even saw problems down the line. But they said it's kind of funny because that was actually less incestual than Targaryen's family tree, and they don't look like they're like have much problems. Well, I guess you could say the Mad King.
Why do you think they have white hair, Don?
oh yeah, the white hair. Yeah, the white hair. That's the bad thing, I guess. But
they fucked the pigment out of their hair.
But no, I say that it was all mental. The king went mad, and
exactly.
But Daenerys, she went crazy when well, people had to die and her dragons had to die. But still, she never came back. She never. Some people, a lot of people had people die though. You know what I'm saying? So and they didn't go fucking insanely batshit crazy and start to want to kill everything. So, yeah, I guess you could say that could be it. But even though I just think that's just a story element, not so much of a genetic thing. But, I'm enjoying the show. Like, I'm really I want to see the next one. I'm gonna stick with this. I'm liking it a lot more as it seems like it's going on. But yeah, it's keeping my interest, and it's really showing like Lord of the Rings. Oh yeah, they did something with Lord of the Rings. They came out when Lord of the Rings came out. They put out a free episode on YouTube, the first episode, so anybody can see.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Almost like a big F you to them. I was like, you didn't have to do that.
No, because this is like the most watched show ever on HBO Max or something like that.
And I mean, I was just saying because Lord of the Rings was boring.
Oh,
you didn't have to do nothing.
Just let that take itself down once people start talking about how boring it is. Yeah,
you didn't have to do that. It was like you could have had people still go ahead and buy it. All right, so what else? I think that's it. That's all we watched then.
Yeah.
So I guess we into what we're playing. So what you been playing, man?
All right, so I tried out the new game on Game Pass, Tinykin. I think I'd seen this in the past, kind of in passing, and didn't pay it much mind, but I've been listening to people on podcasts talk about it and talk about how it's very similar to Pikmin, and it is, but it's also a 3D platformer, which I don't think Pikmin is so much.
It is.
So I give it a try. It might be, I honestly, like, playing this really made me like, am I missing something with Pikmin? Like, did I miss out there? Because I'm really liking this a lot. It has a very distinct art style to it. It's cartoony.
I can't believe you didn't try it, because the way you did, you had dislike for it. I thought you actually played it or something. It's like,
no, I don't know that I've ever said like I hate that game or anything.
I didn't think you didn't say
write
hate
it off.
But you definitely did like gave it an impression of like this of dislike though. It wasn't even like just kind of written off. I thought you played it. So that's what I was thinking.
Nah.
Like, why are you playing Tinykin? And I was like,
yeah.
But yeah, now I'm like, dude, you didn't even give that game a chance.
No, I didn't, because at the time it was, I'm not going to spend money on a game that I don't know if I'm.
You didn't have money at the time.
Exactly.
I'm talking about later on. You should have got the other ones.
They did, they have come out on several different things. Yeah, so maybe one of these days I'll give it a chance. But right now, for
the latest one for $60 still.
Exactly, it's a Nintendo game, dog.
Yeah.
That's one of those things where I can't pick it up at like $15 and just never play it because it was $15.
Even though the Wii U one, not the Wii U, the Wii remake one was cheaper when it came out.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So Tinykin, the art style is kind of cool. It's very weird because you're in these 3D environments, but your character is kind of flat, so he's always looking at the screen. So it's like this like flat cartoon character moving around this world. The art style didn't initially like impress me, but as I'm playing it, I like it a lot more. It's grown on me. It looks kind of like a Newgrounds, like a Java kind of old internet kind of thing. Gameplay wise, it's a really solid 3D platformer. They give you a little bar of soap to slide around on, because the idea is like you're from this different world. You find, I think, Earth, because you're finding like the origins of humanity. But when you teleport there, you are very tiny in the world. So you're running around these large human environments. So, almost like what it seems like in Pikmin. What's that?
You're not human?
I think you are. I think you're trying to discover like the origins of where humanity came from.
You're
from a different planet, so maybe you're not like human, but you know what I mean, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah. You're human, but you're not from Earth, I guess.
A Vulcan.
How that makes sense. You're a Vulcan, yes. Yeah, so the mobility in it is very good. You have like a jump and glide. You put this bubble around you, and it seems like as you get more of this pollen that you're collecting around the world, you'll get more bubbles so you can float longer. And then, of course, the Pikmin aspect. There are different Tinykins that you can pick up. In the first 2 levels that I played, you get pink ones, which are like strength guys. They can pick stuff up. And then you get red ones, which you can throw at stuff and explode it. So with that, you're kind of moving big objects around the world. Things like in the second level, you're grabbing like a CD. So you need to go around the level, collect like 20 Tinykins, and then you throw them at the thing, very much like Captain Olimar does in Pikmin, and then they pick it up and take it to the thing that it's supposed to go to. Definitely seems like they're going hard on like this is just Pikmin. But I really am enjoying the 3D platforming aspects of it. I think it's very good in that aspect. There's a lot of collectibles around the world that you can get, and kind of like side missions in each level. So far, it looks like basically what it's going to be is distinct rooms are kind of like levels, but within those levels, they're relatively large, and you can kind of go about doing what you're going to do in them relatively freely. So yeah, I'm really liking this game so far. It's on Game Pass, so if you've got that, you can try it out free. I don't know what else it's on right now, if it is on anything else. Let's see. Because it would be a cool Switch game, just pick up and play. But when it's free on the Xbox, or I'm playing it on the PC, it's kind of hard to justify that. It is $25 on the Switch. There is a demo also, so if you only have a Switch, you can check it out there. But yeah, I'm liking it a lot. And that's what I've been playing this week. What about you, Dominic?
All right, so some games I had forgot to mention that I played. Like from weeks ago, like Mortal Kombat versus DC, or DC versus Mortal Kombat. I forgot how it went. But that game that came out originally on a 360 and PS3, it's backwards compatible on the one. I mean, I talked about this before, but I was just playing it, trying it out. Because I was like, hey, let me play this game again. I totally forgot about it because I never did beat the Mortal Kombat side of it. I had played the DC side story, and then I never did the other side. But man, it's just the controls are just so old, like compared to even Mortal Kombat 9. And like even the graphics are, you can tell this is very early 360 days. I mean it's all right, but it just looks slightly better than what it looks better than what would be on a PlayStation 2 or original Xbox, but it's like that slow kind of upgrade. It's like, oh, it looks better, but it's not like totally better, but like 9 is where it gets to like, oh, okay, they really put a lot into the graphics. Like the story, I mean, it's all right. It's all right. It feels like a comic book kind of story. It's not totally great or anything, but it's all right for a premise of Mortal Kombat colliding with DC. The gameplay, it's all right. It's still got that kind of Mortal Kombat move set, with the buttons. Kind of easy to implement. Just trying to master them will be kind of hard, but it's all right. It just feels a little slower than I feel from the Mortal Kombat nowadays. I think that's what I really had the problem with, is how slow it feels. But I mean, for the timing, it was. I remember when I first had tried it, it was okay. I wasn't a big fan of it, but I thought it was okay. So improved from this to Mortal Kombat 9. Like I can really feel the improvements on that, and I was like, man, they're really pretty far from this game to that. That's why, because I was kind of suspicious of Mortal Kombat 9 when they first announced it. I thought it was going to be okay. It was like, but I didn't even like Mortal Kombat versus DC. But now I see like they really put a lot into that. What else we got here? I played this game called AI Somanum Files. Okay, all right. That's very Japanese. But it is it is made by the guys who did the Danganronpa games. It feels like a very detective-like game. So it kind of reminds me of somewhat like a Phoenix Wright kind of thing, but mixed with Danganronpa, which I mean, those games are kind of similar in some way too, like you play as a detective, you have this AI eye. Like you lost your eye in an incident that happened like 6 years ago, and now you got this AI embedded eye in you. Like it's like it's a different eye color than your original eye. I forgot what your original eye is, and it talks to you, and it can do special things like you can do X-ray vision and things of that nature. I haven't used it a lot. Like right now, I'm still at the beginning stages of it, so I only used it doing a tutorial saying like, "Hey, look at this! You can see through, or you can zoom in somewhere with it." Like I'm doing a murder case that somebody is suspected of murder, somebody who I know, a kid, but I know that she probably didn't do it, so I'm trying to find out. So that's why it reminds me of Phoenix Wright. It's like, oh yeah, you always get something like that. And then also you have memory loss. You only can remember up to 6 years ago, apparently, because something happened, and you don't know like your past from then. Like people have to tell you, I guess. then you can go to this dream world where it's like you unlock. They call that. I think that's called the Somnium or something. That area it is, whatever it is, and you're in a dream and you can see your AI. Your AI looks more humanoid now, while it's in the other world. When you do see it, because one time your eye just pops out on its own, and it started having like a little body, like a little, like I'm trying to think what it looks like a little gel thing, almost like a flubber, but a see-through kind of flubber with the eyeball, like the eyeball is the big eye, and it looks kind of nasty.
Gross.
But yeah, and it's a woman, like it talks for it, but in the dream world, it looks like an actual girl or woman who's there, and she helps, like she's giving a tutorial of the dream world because you dream and then you're in your own mind and like unlocking like things in your mind, I guess, to help you remember your past, and like you touch things and you interact with certain items that's in the world. Because in this one, seemed like I was in a room, like maybe the apartment room or something like that. Maybe something where I was young, I'm not sure. And you just see all kinds of different things because dreams, things don't make sense. And it's like you're trying to unlock clues and things of that nature. So I don't know how that works later on in the game because that's the only one I ever did. Because I'm guessing maybe you go in other people's minds and into their dreams or something like that. So maybe like a Psychonauts kind of thing or something. I don't know. A little more grittier. It is voice acting throughout this game, just like it was in Danganronpa. I mean, most of it. It's some parts you just read, but it's a lot of voice acting. Oh, and just like Zero, the other game I played, the what's it called, Zero Files or whatever it's called, the 999
Zero Escape.
Yeah, that 999. So it's because that's made by the same guys too. So yeah, it falls in that line. This game came out this year, I want to say. Because I was looking up games that were like what people had like for top games so far this year, and this came up, and I was like, oh, this is on Game Pass. I've seen that game, but I didn't bother clicking on it because it looked like some type of anime gibberish. And but now I know, I guess they must have a deal with Chunsoft because they got all those games up there, Microsoft. So I was like, oh, they must have had a deal with them to say, hey, we're gonna put your games up here. And hey, it's a game I actually like, so might play through it, even though I'm still technically playing through Zero Escape. I am, but on Zero Escape, I finished one of the endings, and now I'm trying to go back to do the good ending. But the only way to do the good ending was that I had to go through this ending, because I was thinking all I had to do was one playthrough. But I was like, oh, you sons of bitches. But they made it easy, though, that you can just load up a save at a certain point. So I loaded up where I have to change what I did, and that made it a whole lot easier. So I was like, oh, this is good. And it seemed like this has the same thing. It looked like it has different branches also in this game. Oh. So it might have. I didn't read about this game though. So I mean, I didn't read much about it to know all the what's in there. So I don't know if it might be different endings too. I'm not sure. But yeah, if you're into those games, those Chunsoft games, if you're into Danganronpa or Zero Escape, this is right up your alley. Or like Phoenix Wright or something, this is right up there, and it's all right. Cool. What else I play? I played some more Guardians of the Galaxy. It's feeling a little too long. I'm kind of almost hitting that wall like I did with Uncharted, where I was like, man, it can end now. Like the fights are becoming the same. It's becoming too much of the same thing now. It's not as fun. I mean, the fighting wasn't great, but now it's like, okay, I'm done shooting or whatever. It's like you can't avoid getting hit, and that's what pisses me off. It's like, darn, I can't dodge everything. It just gets so frustrating. Like I think I ended up putting a thing on easy, and because it has those what's it called, ease of life capabilities, whatever,
quality of life stuff.
Yeah. So they have it where you can put like, oh, you do more damage and you take less damage. Like you can move it, sliders around. So I was like, yeah, because I just want to get through this game now. Because hey, like I said, the story is all right. The story is it's pretty good. I mean, I actually like it. But I think it's getting a little long in the tooth there. With a lot of these combats going on, like If the game would have ended now, as I played it, I'd have been all right. I think somebody said the game was like 17 hours. I think that's a little too long. It should have been between 8 and 10, maybe. I think they could have cut out some of those hours. But I do appreciate that is no microtransactions. You can unlock all the costumes on your own if you find them. If you find them during the stages you in. So that's good. Just like what old games used to do. So I give them that. I mean, I shouldn't even give them anything for that. I mean, I only give them that because Avengers was such the opposite of what this game is. All right, so also I had played Fortnite about 2 weeks ago, and
nice.
I played I think I played one match. Yeah, I think I played one match. Oh, and also, well, I'll talk about the match first. Like a normal Fortnite match, and I actually won. I was a little surprised that I won, but I found some good weapons, and I actually did. Did I do the I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, I found the Kamehameha like doing the stage, and I did it on somebody. And as slow as she powered up, I thought I was going to die because I was like, "This guy's going to shoot me." But I got him. I was like, "Oh yay, I got him." I'm glad he can't shoot. And yeah, like someone was trying to snipe me, and luckily I had a better gun than he did because I could aim from longer distance and got him. And then near the end, that's when when the stage was closing in, I was, oh my God, I was rushing because I was about to die because I was like, man, I'm too far away from the center. But then that's when I started really building stuff. I built myself a shit and said, hopefully
so you're not playing the no build mode, huh?
Oh no. Okay. I'm playing the normal mode. And
gotcha.
So I build a shed so I can be in while I say hopefully they kill each other or something while I'll be in the shed until the stage gets smaller, then I have to get out. And then I think I found the one guy left and got him. And yeah, and then I won. I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I actually won, man. I say, yeah, I beat all these 10-year-olds. There you go. Then I tried out some of the custom stages where people, I think they kind of build their own. And I don't know if it's like they really build their own, but they just set it up. They set up like what they want to do. This was like a horde mode where you're shooting a whole lot of zombies. And I was playing this with some people. And I mean, it's fun. It's fun doing that. Just walk around. And it was really, if you die, all you do is respawn and you just keep playing. And it was just cool shooting around a bit. I have this all recorded and everything. And there's a lot of different modes in there. Like, this game is just so much bigger than what it was when I initially played it and when it first came out. They have done a lot to this game. And just that all the characters that you can be in this game is just ridiculous. And I'm just I forgot what the kids would call it. I'm the NPC. I'm an NPC, I guess, because I'm cool just a normal guy. Yeah, I don't have no skin or nothing because I didn't get enough Koopa coins or whatever the hell the fuck we call it in this game. I played some more Multiverse. I played right now. The rotation is Scrappy. I said Scrappy. Shaggy and Harley Quinn and some others. That's the only ones I really know. I know because I didn't look at everybody. But I played with Harley Quinn a bit. I did like her. I like her character. I played with Superman a few times. I was playing a good match with somebody. I'm one guy. We just stayed partnered off for a bit until we didn't. Until I left and I said I was tired. Actually, I don't know who left first, honestly, because I think it just said lost. But I was about to get off anyway. But yeah, I mean, we were all right. I mean, we weren't great or anything. I think we won one match. Not just a match. I mean, I guess 2 out of 3 matches. The other ones we lost. We were getting our asses kicked. But yeah, I mean, the game's still fun. I mean, I'm still having fun with this game. And I like, you know what? I give it to this game for the dialogue they have with this game. The banter, because they say specific things to certain characters. Because when I was playing with Harley Quinn and Shaggy, I was training with Harley Quinn, and Shaggy's the default guy you have in there, unless you change it. He was like, "Oh God, you're a horrible doctor." He's like, "You're a horrible doctor," and I was like, "Oh wow, they actually have him actually say something relatable to what the character is," and I think they do that for everybody. Like they'll say something relatable to it. I forget. I mean, I hear some things, but it never sticks with my mind. But I hear something that's like, okay, that relates. I hear Superman say something to somebody and that kind of relates to what they are. And I said, that's pretty cool that they have that. That's like that's a lot of depth in there in this game. Like I don't know, like look, I'm not a Smash guy, so for me, I can't. If you listen to Smash people, they probably say this game is horrible or something. I have no idea, but for me, this game is all right. Like I'm having fun. It's like for me, for Smash, I'm not hardcore with it. For me, Smash is just like I like playing with characters they said they have no business in the fighting game. Like that's what I get out of it. Like I'm like I like this. It's like these people have no business in the fighting game, and I'm fighting with them. And I was like, okay, that's neat. It's not. I don't look at it as like hardcore, like a Street Fighter, like how some people take it. And I was like, oh, but whatever. But then again, I mean, I'm also don't take a lot of games too seriously anyway nowadays because I'm older and it's like this life's too short, and I just want to have fun. That's all with these games. All right, and I don't want to get blood pressure too up. I can't let my blood pressure get too high, so that's why I don't take it too seriously. All right, so what else have I played? I did try out the new Cowabunga Collection. The Ninja Turtles. I just recorded Ninja Turtles 1 and Ninja Turtles 2 Arcade and some of Turtles in Time Arcade.
Okay.
And actually, I don't know if it was Turtles in Time Arcade or... No, I think it's just regular Ninja Turtles Arcade, the first one. Because I was comparing it to the Nintendo one. And I was like, man, when I was little, I used to think this really looked like the arcade one. And now, man, no, it don't. It looks... it is so slow and, yeah... Even though I did see some differences. I knew some differences when I was younger, but it just, well, I guess you can't really compare graphics to nothing but an arcade game. So, it was great. But man, now playing that, I was like, whoa, this is old. Like, this is old. Like, stick with the arcade game. The arcade game is old, but it still holds up. Like, it's still, because it still feels faster. And I think they made some improvements on that too, themselves. But the Nintendo one feels so slow. Feels so slow compared to the arcade. And it seems like I get a lot of cheap shots more, man, than I probably should. And I was like, darn, these foot soldiers are definitely getting hits on me, man. But they do have those quality of life things of like, hey, you can be invincible or have extra lives. The bad thing is, I don't like you can't implement them while you're playing. You have to implement them before you play. And so that sucks. I was like, oh, come on. Or like the rewind feature, it doesn't rewind as far as I want it to. Mm-hmm. Like it rewinds, it rewinds quite a bit, but I mean playing like Nintendo's rewind on when they have their games, it rewinds pretty far. Much farther than what they do on here. I wish that was longer. Also, all the cheats, there's different cheats for different games. Because I didn't see a God mode for the first game. I forgot the stuff they had. But it was nothing that really made it better except for Mulan. Like, that was the best thing for... Maybe they had infinite lives. I'm not sure. But all I did was rewind a lot. Well, you can see. Like, if you watch the video... Like, every time I rewind, it's me cursing, because that game is just horrible. That game is frustrating, how much I was getting hit. But yeah, because I was like, that's one thing I don't like, is that not all the cheats, they're not cheats for each one. I mean, I know different games will have to be different, like the fighting game and stuff, but I'm like, dang, I couldn't make it so it'll be infinite. I can't be like, I guess maybe the coding, you kind of make it so that I can be God mode in the first game, so I have to freaking rewind like a billion times. Because I'm getting hit.
Talk to the Game Genie people. See how they did it.
Yeah. Man, I don't know what the cheats they had for that game. Maybe these are the cheats. I don't know. Maybe all they could do was this. Yeah. But this packaging is great. Like, even in the extras mode, they have it where you can look at the different ads they have for each year for the game. And I was looking at it and cool. I remember this. I remember these ads. Especially when we do like flashback segments. And we look up like those old ads. Mm-hmm. Then they have like even they have like some bio thing talking about this ad. Like, hey, this is a feature, then blah 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 and stuff like that. They have a lot of nooks and stuff there. And I was like, man, this is the way you do a classic package of games. And for them to have all these games in there, and even the Game Boy games, is great. I'm guessing, but they even showed off the what was it? The Tiger, like the electronic one.
Oh, the Tiger handheld.
Yeah, they even showed that. I don't know if you can play that game. I don't think so. But they showed it off in the extra stuff, like when they advertised it. And I was like, yeah, I had that. I remember having that when I was little. Man, those Tiger games. Man, I had quite a few of them. They're awful, but we were playing the shit out of them.
Yes, we were. I had Sonic. I think that's why I think Sonic's so bad, Dominic, because that was my experience with Sonic.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Terrio had one too. I never played it though, but I think I've seen it. I remember because the girls my mom used to babysit, they had some too. Like they had the Lion King one, the Aladdin one. When Disney always had a movie. I think I played The Little Mermaid, Lion King, Aladdin. All those things. I never had them myself, but they had them, and I would just play theirs because they always used to get some based on the movie. They're princesses, and I was like, "Yeah, let me play this game, beat this game." I can never beat it. I think I always got to a stage. Actually, no, I think Aladdin I did beat the electronic one. Yeah, I think I did actually beat that one.
Nice.
It's just funny when I finally figured out how they did it. Like they made the people look like they're moving. Because my dad showed me how. He said, like, all they do is, like, it's like a calculator. It's like they just move the picture right there. It's not really moving. He ruined it for me. He ruined it for me. I was thinking they were moving. Because then I was always, I know why. Because I think I asked him. I said, why doesn't these look as good as the Game Boy game? And, like, that's what I was saying. Like, why these games don't look as good as the Game Boy game? Because he said it's not done like that Game Boy game. So, yeah, that's what he just showed me. All right. So what else have I played? Let's play some more Trails. And Trails is goddamn so damn long at this end. So I mean I tried to say like I'm gonna finish this game. And then I was like, man, I need to do some work or need to do something else. Something like that. And then I just don't finish it. Or then I say I'm gonna finish it tonight. But then I just feel kind of tired. I'm like, I'm going up to my room. And usually, like, that's when I'll be playing, like, Guardians of the Galaxy is, like, at night. Because I'll be up in my room, and I played on my Xbox. And because my computer, like I said, I had trouble with the streaming with my computer downstairs. I just played on my Xbox upstairs to stream and stuff. Usually that'd be at night, and I'll play it. But I wish I can play Trails upstairs, because I probably would finish the game by now. But yeah, I'm still doing like the last bit of side missions before I go on to this main last mission. And I think I've done the big one. Actually, no, I'm not done, because after I've done these two side missions, something else came up big, because after doing those missions. But I do like that because of these two side missions I did. You played with the old characters. That was from Trails in the Sky in one mission. You played with them. And then you played in another side mission, you played with the characters from Trails of Zero, whatever, you know, the one that happened in Crossbow that's coming out with the remake soon. That was on the PSP. So it was like cool, like you're playing with these characters. So it's almost like a reunion for those characters. Cause like, yeah, you're playing with them. And I mean, you would have like a character, like a few characters from the game Trails of Cold Steel will be with them because they're kind of connected to their story. And it was good. Like I actually like how they did that to make it like, yep, this is the last time you were playing with these guys. And it was like a reunion, almost like a thing saying reunion with these old characters. It's like pretty sad. It's like, damn, man. I spent like how many years with this series? Whatever Breaching Cat told us about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Was it 2015 maybe? I don't know. It was 2010, but Jesus, I've been with this series for a while. And that was kind of, well, it's not really coming to an end, but what kind of the story is, I mean, because the story is coming to an end, because I think the next one is just like a whole new thing. But yeah, I'm like, man, this is a good series. This is a good series. And for them to keep it going for this long is incredible. All right. Yeah, and that's it. So I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. And now we're flashbacking to 2012. So it's September, new month, in 2012. And I'm on 2002 right now, so I should need to go 2012 because you got it backwards. All right. So we're going back 10 years to look at Game Informer, and they got the Army of Two Devil's Cartel on the front. It's a nice cover. Yeah, it's a nice cover. I don't know how good the game was though, but I did enjoy the first one. I'm gonna say
middling 70s.
Yeah. Well, the first game kind of felt that way, honestly, to me.
Yeah. That series in general is it feels like is the epitome of a 70.
Yeah, and I mean, I did like the co-op with it. The whole I don't know what they call it when you went to, or you're aggro or something like that, and then
aggro.
Yeah.
Then you go back to back.
Back to back. Yeah, I like doing the back to back. Or when you're on the front, like somebody's on the bottom, like holding up the shield, and the other one person shooting up, and it's like, that was pretty cool. I remember we doing that in Army of Two. I remember me and my friend in Horde mode of Gears, we tried to do that. When you hold the shield, the Mauler shield, and do that, just do that. So we got killed. We just got killed. It didn't work. They didn't implement it. See, they didn't implement that kind of thing into the game, so they need to.
Looks like this only got like 50s, so
no. Oh no, yeah. I thought this was like pretty bad. I thought this was like worse than the other ones.
Yeah, all right. 54 for the Xbox on Metacritic and 58 for the PS3 version.
But they got the this is like a co-op issue. The top 30 co-op games of all time. What's coming up in co-op? There's probably a whole bunch of like maybe Lego games or something like that in that issue. Games you can't play online.
28 Lego games, a Gears game, and then something else.
All right. So what we got next here? We got for PC Gamer 2012. Oh, look at this nice cover. We played it. StarCraft 2 Heart of Swarm. I got it and still haven't played it. It's a shame. I have this game. It's ridiculous. So yeah, this is the game where you play as the Swarm. I mean the Zergs. They're not to call it Swarm. The Swarm is that the Gears? Is that the Gears new villains called, right? The Swarm.
There is that that might be what the new ones are called.
That's what I said. The new ones.
The
Swarm Gears. Let me make sure. Yes, the Swarm. Yeah, stupid ass name. Stupid ass name. The fucking Locust. Locust Swarm. I mean, what the hell? It's like, what are you doing? All right. Anyway. Yeah.
It's just logical, dog. They nailed
it. Okay, but yes, I think this was rated all right. I know it wasn't bad, but I don't know because they actually for the single player stuff in the first game, it was like people didn't really. They said it wasn't that great. I mean, as far as story, anyway, I think gameplay was all right. I don't know if the story got better with this one because honestly, I never played it. So, but still, StarCraft 2 was a huge deal, man. So, like, you were getting this one, and then you had the not the Zerg. I'm sorry, the Protoss. The Protoss. That's what they call it.
Protoss.
Yeah. And the next one. All right. So it says every new unit dissected. Blizzard plus Day 9. Talk new tactics. I don't know what Day 9 is. That a developer?
I don't know. Maybe.
Also, Insanity. Far Cry 3. Oh, yeah, the definition of insanity. That trailer. Yep. The rebirth of the single-player FPS, Daniel. The rebirth. And it's been rebirthed in ever since. Because it's been the same game since this one. What else we have? Why Torchlight 2 is better than Diablo 3. Damn.
Apparently, Day 9 is an esports commentator.
Oh, okay. But they really, I've heard this though. I know some people said it like they enjoy Torchlight more than Diablo. Yeah. And
most people are wrong, but that's fine.
But other games, some of the newer games that just came out a few years ago. I forget what it's
Path of Exile.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But now Diablo 4 is about to come out. Let's see what that does. All right. Plus, Total War Rome 2, Diablo 3, Max Payne 3, Civilization 5, and DayZ, and it's still going technically. I still see it up there on Twitch. Somebody's streaming it. What we got here? Nintendo Power. We got Super Mario Sunshine on the front. So yeah, they're showing us all. This was a huge deal. I mean, this is like the first. I mean, this is the first big Mario single player game on the GameCube. Haven't seen him since Smash, so now we get to see him actually in his element.
In his element in short sleeves.
Yeah. But actually, no.
For the beachy look.
He cuffed it. It looked like he cuffed it. It looked like he pushed it up.
Maybe he did. Makes sense. That's why he doesn't have shorts on.
Maybe it is shorts. I mean, it's kind of in this image. It kind of looks like it's pushed up.
Yeah. I mean, Peach had short sleeves, so I feel like they were planning for a tropical adventure.
Yeah. It's messed up. If he's going on vacation, he's still wearing his work clothes. I mean, this man he's a dedicated plumber. He's like, just in case we gotta get some things fixed, I'll be ready.
Yep.
What else we got here? We got Star Fox Countdown to that not so good game.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Is this countdown to the?
That might have been Star Fox Adventure.
Maybe. Okay. Maybe it's that one. Yeah. Because because it sure wasn't the actual flight game. All right.
Yeah, the Namco Bandai one.
We got Insider Strategies, Freestyle, Big Air Freestyle, Mystic Heroes, Mega Man Zero, Duke Nukem Advance.
Oh yeah.
Then you got the sports reports. You got all the sports games, man. NFL 2003, Backyard Football, WTA Tour Tennis, NFL 2K3, F1 2002, MLB Slugfest 2003, and NFL Blitz 2003. I forgot to talk about the biggest news that happened. Serena Williams had most likely her final match. She lost.
That is pretty big news.
As of today. It was yesterday.
They should let her win. Come on now.
Yeah, I mean, hey, she went to 3 rounds.
Go easy on her.
She went 3 rounds. She beat the number 2 person in the world.
Okay.
Made her cry. I saw her crying at the podium. I was like,
I mean, she still got it. She can keep going.
Yeah. But she lost this match. I'm happy. I mean, I'm happy. Like she had to end her career. You know, I mean, end her career on. It's a decent note. It's not horrible to be. I mean, she's getting older.
She didn't have some injury or something that's taking her away or anything.
It sucks that
she's choosing to leave.
Tie the record. She had a chance to tie the record. I mean, God, but still, I think she's one of the best out there. I mean, this ain't much saying for me because I just watch women's tennis since she joined. Well, not her sister. Since her sister joined.
Yeah.
I was watching tennis. So, yeah, that's the only time I do about it. But yeah, it was great seeing that, seeing all the stars out there and everything. I'm glad I see LeBron though. If I saw LeBron, I would have turned the channel. Dang, I would have changed the channel. Fuck this. Also, it was Russell Wilson. I seen Russell Wilson. I kind of made one change the channel, but I was like, all right, whatever. I'll live with that. And of course, I see his wife, who I rarely see without glasses. I rarely see her without sunglasses. Every time I see her, it's sunglasses. But everybody was wearing them. But it didn't make sense because it was nighttime. It was like,
I wear my sunglasses at night. They made a song about it, Dominic. This is what people do now.
All right. So where I'm at here, we got Game Informer in 2002, and we got. Did I say we're going back 20 years? Or I just went to Nintendo Power. I forget.
You just jumped in Nintendo Power.
Okay, we were back 20 years. That Nintendo Power was 20 years ago. All right, so now we're going to Game Informer 20 years ago, and we got Grand Theft Auto Vice City on the front.
Heck yeah.
I had this magazine. Because I was waiting for Grand Theft Auto. Like, I remember me and this dude, because it was a senior in high school. And I remember me and this dude, we just kept talking about this game. Like, everybody was talking about this game. It's like, man, it comes out.
I was going to say, it was legit the biggest game in the world at that time.
Yeah, and I forgot what's the exact date it came out. Because we kept counting the days down. It's like, oh, I'm getting it. Someone was like, I'm getting at the school. I'm getting at the work. I say, yup, I can save my money up. I got it. And this was when I was working at the ice cream store. So I was like, yeah, I got my money too. Because my parents wouldn't buy me games anymore because they were mad at me for my grades. So, and I think I got it. It came on Tuesday. And I went I went there, got it. Because I said hi to my boss because it was at the same ball. And then I went there, got the game, went back home. played the shit out of it all night. Then I went to school the next day. Hated school because I just I just want to go back home and play some Grand Theft Auto. And then got back home. I called out quite a few times. I said called out. I didn't call for school. I called for work. I never missed work purposely.
It's fine. Your boss can't hurt you now, Dom.
Yeah, but no, school. I think I went to school quite a few times to play Grand Theft Auto because it was senior year. I already knew what college I was going to, so I was like, man, I don't give a damn. I was like going to school. I used to wait till my mom go to work, and I would, because usually I leave before she does. I was supposed to. Mm-hmm. So what I would do is that I would go, get on a bus, ride it to some point, get on the bus to come back home. And then I will come back home. I will come to the basement door and walk slowly just to make sure I hear her. Because if she's still there, then I was like, oh, I gotta wait till she
escape.
Yeah, I gotta go back. Either I go back to school because I was like, oh, she ain't going to work, or I wait because she might be still getting ready, and then she leaves. I used to wait in the basement. And this is when the basement, it was not made to be stayed in at this time. This is when we just storage. So I just stay down there in the dark and wait till I hear the door close upstairs. It's like, woohoo, then I come back upstairs. Then one time I came in, because she didn't leave to go to work, but my sister was home. And I was like, what the hell, you didn't go to school? And I was like, because she was going to college. They said, oh, so why you didn't go? I said, I'm sick. I said, I felt sick.
Cough.
Oh man, I cut them.
So you never got caught otherwise, huh?
Oh, I got caught.
Okay.
A few times. My mom, one time she did hear me come through the door down the basement. She thinking somebody broke in. He said, "You coming down here?" I said, "Why you coming?" So you better go to school or something. Then I had to go back to school, or I try to lie and say they let us out early, and I say, "No, I suspend me because I left my something." Say, oh man, that was such good times. Anyway, but yes, I did have this magazine looking up all the stuff you can do in the game, all the music they had, and I was like, man, this game's gonna be huge. I think it's gonna have, oh man, it's like I was mad. I was like, oh, it's only 2 islands, but then it was like, yo, these islands are bigger than what all the islands put together in the game or some shit like that. I was like, oh man, this is great. And it was, and that's how you could find a plane. I was so happy, helicopter plane. I was like, oh yes, this is what we wanted. This is what we wanted so much. I don't have to find a fucking dodo anymore. Even though then I learned like, oh man, flying a freaking plane is ridiculous in this game.
Yes.
It's horrible.
It was real bad.
Helicopter wasn't that much better, but Jesus. All right.
Oh, that helicopter, the one where you're doing the toy helicopter in Vice City, that shit sucked.
I don't know how many times I did that mission over again. Especially, that was a time, yo, when you start over, you had to start over from where you started the mission at. So you had to still drive
so you had
over.
To drive to the site again.
You had to keep driving to that site, man. I was like, Jesus Christ. I said, come on, can't you just start me right here? Damn.
That's how you learn the city so well, because you just can't have to drive over and over again.
All right, so, but that was a start. I learned that's Grand Theft Auto 3, the original Grand Theft Auto 3. Yes, that one, I knew the city like the back of my hand because of just how it was. And you driving places. And it wasn't huge. So you can remember. Vice City, I remembered a bit, but it got to a point, I think when I got to the certain part of the second island, because I didn't drive there as much. So I would.
That's what it was for me for the first one. Like the third island, I don't remember anything of. But the first section, I got down in my head.
Oh, the
still.
first section is the easy. Yeah, that's one you just remember everything. Like Vice City. Yeah, I kind of remember the. I remember the first one. I got to remember the second one. I think that took longer though than I did Grand Theft Auto 3. When I got to Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, I don't think I remembered anything except for my own neighborhood. I think I remember the neighborhood. I remember the shortcut to get there to the back way and stuff like that. But other places, I didn't remember. San Fierro and what was the Las Vegas one called?
I don't remember.
Yeah, but I don't remember those places. I don't remember. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't remember none of those places. All right. So, where are we at here? We're going to PC Gamer 2002. And what we got on the front here, we got Sam Fisher on the front here. Splinter Cell. What Splinter Cell? Is this still the first one?
I think it's the first one, yeah.
Damn. Oh, yeah, this is supposed to be the Metal Gear Solid killer.
Yep.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
Sure was. Beautiful light tech. Come on, I can shoot out all the lights and then murder somebody in the dark.
Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, first look, based off Nobody from Tom Clancy's universe, but it's called Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. I don't know how did they get away with that?
This was the story of Tom Clancy himself, Dominic, before he started writing books.
It says Super Shooters, 8 real-world action games ripped from the tomorrow's headlines. Oh,
I bet they're all trash.
All right, the inside scoops you can get anywhere else that you can't get anywhere else. No One Lives Forever 2, Hitman 2, SWAT Urban Justice. Oh, I didn't ever heard of that. Deus Ex 2, Rainbow Six, Raven Shield, and more. Raven Shield, I don't remember that one either. That's another Tom Clancy game. Then you have Warcraft 3, the Essential Strategy Guide, and how to play. Well, you don't need a strategy guide. All you need is some cheat codes, and then you're good. How to play new games on your old PC. Oh, they teach you how to steal.
New hardware. I'm gonna download some RAM.
Yeah. Also, review Neverwinter Nights. Absolutely amazing. Well, they just spoiled it, Daniel. They spoiled the review.
They did. I didn't need to buy that magazine. I saw
Age
that
of
on
Wonders
the stand.
2,
I was like,
fantastic. All right. And gore, oh dear. I'm guessing that means it's bad. Or it's very gory. I don't know.
I was gonna say there's just a lot of gore. That's all.
Inside EverQuest 2 and previews Madden 2003 plus Combat Flight Sim 3. Madden was still coming on the PC.
Yeah.
Well, technically it's back on this PC, but there was that long break.
Mm-hmm.
The PC people call those the dark times. They're the dark times.
No, the PC people call it the dark times now that it's back.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah,
it's like, oh god, Madden's on here. Why do you need football on Steam?
All right. So what else we have here? We got the official Xbox magazine in 2002, and we got Unreal Online is here, baby, for the Xbox. It says online is
Dominic.
Unreal.
I don't think that's an Ethernet cord. I think that's a phone jack.
But you can't.
That's an RJ11 right there.
But you can't use a phone jack in an Xbox.
Yeah, you couldn't on the Xbox.
Yeah,
so maybe it is an RJ45. They look similar.
If we were making Halo 2, they talk about, I guess, warning completely doctored screenshots. Okay. I guess they just telling what they do with Halo 2. Okay. But
I would make it cooler and better.
But this is kind of a big deal. Unreal coming to Xbox. Like, this is really showing how they're getting big on online. And I was jealous. I was jelly because I had a PlayStation 2, and I didn't want to buy a modem, and they didn't have Unreal anyway. So I was like, man, this sucks. I said, Xbox still sucks.
Unreal did look really cool.
It's like, fuck you, Bill Gates. All right, so only on Xbox, Unreal Championship. First look at online play. Free poster. Oh, yeah, get a poster. Exclusive gameplay movies on the disc. Oh, yeah, on the demo disc.
Yeah, demo discs.
And you got A Legend Returns. Oh, Ninja Gaiden. That hard-ass game. But I did like that monster in her butt. When I used to always see in that preview. They always show that monster's butt preview, man. I just remember seeing that all the time. A Hero is Born. Psychonauts, baby, is coming. It's mind-blowing. Yeah. And I can't see this stuff because of the damn address. But they did blurt it out, so we can't go find them and go murder them for doing this to us. But I see something with Halo down here. But I guess that's the maybe that's the doctored screenshot they're talking about.
Yeah, I think that's the doctored screenshots, though.
Because this looks like Halo 1 stuff. All right.
Yes, it does.
So, uncensored, triple Xbox. So here we go. Grand Theft Auto 3 was just the beginning.
I want this issue. I want to know what they're talking about here.
Yeah, they thought there was... Well, yeah, what game they thought they had? Like, yeah, we own Grand Theft Auto 3. We're good.
BMX Triple X.
All right. So, that is it for 2002. And we got one mag for 1992. And it's Felix the Cat that great cat from back in the 50s or something. I don't know what the hell this shit was.
Something like that. The 20s.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably fucking World War II, World War III. I said three. World War One.
World War One.
So,
who was Archduke Ferdinand's favorite cartoon cat?
Now the thing is, even around this time, there was a Phineas and Cat cartoon that was new. It was a movie that was on Disney Channel. I don't think it ever came in theaters or anything. It probably was a made for Disney kind of thing. But that came out because that's where I knew him from, and I didn't even realize. Oh, this is like some old black and white cartoon, like Betty Boop or something like that, or Betty Bop, whatever her name is. So what we got here? Groundbreakers for fall. Out of this world, Muhammad Ali and NHL PA hockey 93. What's this? NHL Pennsylvania hockey? Or
yes.
NFL Players Association hockey?
Maybe that's what it is.
Why Player Association? They gotta say, "Oh, we got real players. We got the names on here."
Yep.
But the Muhammad Ali thing,
and Gretzky.
I didn't know Muhammad Ali was in the game back in. I thought his first appearance was Knockout Kings. But anyway,
it was him and their hockey game, Muhammad Ali's hockey.
All right, special horror and gore section just in time for Halloween. Woo! I mean, they didn't really give us scary graphics back in 1992, though.
Goodness.
So I don't know what the hell it was. Here we go. Radio. Felix the Cat makes his way to video. Is that his catchphrase? You know, I gotta watch a Felix the Cat cartoon.
Radio.
Because I don't remember the one I seen back when I was a little kid. That one. So I don't know what the hell he did. I knew he had a fun bag. Oh, your daughter's having fun back there.
Yeah, apparently.
Also in this issue, what makes Capcom Street Fighter 2 such a champion? Yes. I now remember this magazine. I was reading that section a billion times because I wanted Street Fighter so bad. And I could not wait. All right. So that is it for the flashback segment. Yes, we had no games. There was really no games coming out the first week of September, these 2 weeks. So, I mean, well, between 2012 and 2002. So we'll have the games next week because this is when the fall comes and we're going to get games start heating up. We're going to start getting a lot of games to talk about. So now we're going to take a quick break. When we get back and get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. Now let's get into the gaming news. So what we got, Dan?
All right, Dominic. So first up, there was an interview that went around with Phil Spencer. He basically confirmed, oh yeah, we've got intentions to put Call of Duty and Overwatch and Diablo on Game Pass as soon as we complete this merger or buyout or whatever you want to call it, acquisition, I guess. Like that's a given, right? Like we all knew that.
I don't
he
like
also
it.
Confirmed,
I don't like it because I think it needs to be equal. Now, I mean, I like that it's on every, like they're gonna let it be still multi-platform. That's good for everybody.
Yes, they are gonna release it on PlayStation stuff.
I think they should have made a deal on PlayStation saying, well, you have to give something up too. Like, you got to get that deal. You have to void that deal wherever you got with Square Enix and let us have Final Fantasy. Or one of their
They already stole Kojima from Sony. Come on.
Or
what more can they take?
See, that was the other one, but they already got it. Okay, but
yep.
Or they can like you said, some first party games. So you gotta let us have one of them. See, then we will talk. Then we can talk.
Yes, Uncharted on Xbox.
I hope they did.
I mean, I've said it before, but like I'm shocked that they're not just like, yo, you can have these games, but they're going to be available through Game Pass, and you got to put Game Pass on your system. And maybe that is a thing that happens, but I highly doubt it, unless Microsoft is willing to like give them a cut or something like that, you know. Which I don't know if they'd be willing to do. But that could be interesting. I really just want Game Pass. Give me Game Pass on the Switch. But I guess that's what Steam Deck is now, right? Like if you get a Steam Deck, you don't really need that because there are ways to play those games there. So,
Nintendo. Do you have this in the news?
What's that?
Nah, you don't. About Nintendo
probably
partnering with like Denuvo to work on.
Oh shit! I actually meant to have that on there last week because I had seen something about that.
I forgot about last week.
I forgot about it, and then I saw it again earlier this week, but then I forgot about it again. Yeah, like, what the fuck, man? What's up with that?
Because of people like you encouraging people to steal, Daniel.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, but people...
Not on the Nintendo Switch, because they'll ban you. I don't encourage it on that.
No, but people, you know, the emulation world has been emulating the Switch doing pretty good job with it. like having... or even be better than what the games play on the Switch. I mean, they're not perfect, but heck, I mean, it's been good enough. If you got a good enough PC to play it, they work. And even don't, like, it all depends on what game it is and how it's emulated. Because some games, some people are telling me on, like, even lower end ones. I mean, like, not lower end, but, like, you don't have to have a 1070. You can, some people say they have, like, a 960 and was playing something.
Nice.
But, yeah, so they partnered with Denuvo. It seems like they're going to try to quell that, I guess, because there's not a lot of people who just stealing and playing games on the Switch. That's not as big. I mean, it happens, but every system has that. But it's just all been how many people doing it.
Yeah, but you really got to have like one of the earlier Switches.
Exactly.
That was like hardware broken.
Yeah,
basically,
it's a lot harder to do that.
Chips.
It's a lot harder to get that done than this. Like,
it's a lot riskier too, right? Because then you're using like your Nintendo account and stuff like that.
So they are. So it's not definitely not for that reason. It's definitely got to be for this. That's the only reason I would think, because it's what nobody else. I don't hear people talk about like, oh, I'm just copying carts and giving it to people. But now people are wondering because like. The whole thing with the Denuvo is that people have problems. Like, it causes problems for just regular folks who buy the game.
Yep. You telling me games are going to run even worse on the Switch now?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, yo, they run bad enough. So what are you doing? And
here's the Switch 2. It's the only way to counterbalance the power that Denuvo is taking from.
And
your
what does
system.
Denuvo? What kind of frankly anti-piracy thing are they doing? Is it going to like? What if I don't play online or something? Like, is it something that had to just be checked online or something, or what? Like, how are you going to implement this?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy because I didn't even think about that. Reading the stuff is like, that's always been a PC thing, right? Yeah. It's not like you hear about like Denuvo on these Xbox games.
Yeah, exactly.
So wow, that's crazy.
And then also, is it going to be what games are it? Is it just the first party games, Nintendo, or is this going to be a lot of the other games too, or do you have to be part of it? Is it going to be like, hey, this is part of our system or something?
You got to put oh god, what if it's just built into like the firmware going forward or something?
Yeah, like exactly.
It's like the only way for these games to run is by checking against this Denuvo software on your. Yeah, and that's. Yeah, I wonder, and you said like the internet thing, like a lot of the appeal of the Switch is that it's portable, but you aren't always on an internet connection. No. So how's that going to affect my ability to play the games that I'm buying? Denuvo sucks, Dominic. just hot take, Denuvo sucks.
I mean, yeah, there's got to be other ways. I mean, plus I just want to know what the sales lost. Like what? Yeah. What are the sales lost? Like what? Okay.
You're gonna find out, Dominic, when they start doing Player's Choice again, and they drop these games down to $20 after they sell 1 million copies, because now they're not losing all these sales to piracy. They were losing so much money to piracy that they just couldn't financially do it anymore.
Yeah, that was the reason.
But now they can do it. Yeah.
Oh man.
Boo-hoo Nintendo.
Yeah. All right. So what else we got, man?
All right, Dominic. Next up, we got Shovel Knight Dig. That is the roguelike Shovel Knight game that's coming out. We got a release date for it now, along with a new trailer that's coming out September 23rd. So at the end of this month, it's going to be $25. It's going to be available on the Switch and the PC initially. And yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm excited for it. It looks good.
Yeah, because I just beat the original game. I did not play none of the... I don't know what you call expansions, but DLC or yeah. I mean,
additional
not
campaigns.
that I don't. I just never went back. I mean, I like the game. So, I mean, I'm happy it's out there now. How does it look? Like, does it look like Shovel Knight, or does it look like Super Nintendo Shovel Knight?
It looks like I guess you could say maybe Super Nintendo Shovel Knight. It looks a little more advanced, I will say.
Okay, I appreciate that then.
Yeah.
I appreciate because I did see like a screenshot and I was like, that looks a little better, but I don't know. I don't know.
It does look a little bit better because there was something about his character model that felt off to me, like he looks a little shorter or something. But I think that's part of it.
The mushroom,
he's a little more detailed. Maybe not. Yeah, because it definitely looks like you get different powers and stuff. But yeah, I like Shovel Knight a lot, so I'm excited to see what they do with this. The Pocket Puzzle one or whatever that came out, like I didn't even realize it came out and then forgot it came out and didn't really interest me all that much. But if we're getting back into more action-y platforming stuff, I'm excited about it again. So, all right, Dominic. Next up, we got some news from Quantic Dream. They've just been acquired by NetEase.
What?
Everybody's getting acquired, Dominic.
NetEase? What is that?
Maybe NetEase can. What is NetEase? Is that another one of
Are you pronouncing it wrong? Is it Natty Bo? No, okay.
Yes, NetEase is another Chinese technology company. So,
God bless the Chinese, man.
Yep. They are also the ones that own Grasshopper Manufacturing, the Suda 51 studio.
Man, the Chinese are taking over.
Yep. They got our real estate. They also got our video game company.
Yeah.
I say our video game companies, but Quantic Dream is what, French or something?
Yeah.
Honestly, they can have David Cage maybe. Just like send him over to China, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
But now they own Star Wars, Dominic. The Chinese own Star Wars because they're working on that Star Wars game. That'll be out in like 7 years. It's just so crazy that all the companies like this size and smaller at this point have been gobbled up. Like there aren't many quote unquote independent studios in the like mid-range, size.
Like, I mean, you still got technically the Witcher guys.
CD Projekt Red.
CD Projekt Red. They're one. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
I mean, to a larger size, EA and Ubisoft and Square.
That I consider them like the big ones.
No, that's what I said. To the larger size.
Oh, but I guess Activision was a big one too, right?
So Activision, I would have said, was the biggest one out of them. Even though they don't really put out video games.
Yeah, but the games they put
when
out,
they were putting it in their prime, I would have said they were the biggest ones. But
and now, see, I don't know because maybe the few games they put out just makes billions of dollars. So there's like, hey,
yeah. I mean, financially wise, I think they were definitely the biggest. Yeah. I think like release wise, I would have said EA was the biggest.
EA. Yeah, I would have said EA.
And there was some talk. Was it last week and we just didn't talk about it, or was it earlier this week that Amazon was going to be purchasing them?
Yeah. Well, we didn't talk about
that was immediately refuted.
Yeah, send it to me, and then I sent it. Thinking that was fast. It was just hours later. It was just hours later from the tweet you had sent me.
Yep. But we had talked previously that there was some talk that they were going to like merge with Universal or whatever.
That's right. Yeah.
You know? NBC Universal, and it sounded like Andrew, what's his face, the head of EA, was supposed to like take up leadership there. So it's kind of weird to think that EA would be the bigger party in a Universal merger. But there's still been like rumors going around that they're looking for someone to merge with and you know, even as far as like maybe getting a Disney involved. But I don't think Disney's looking to make video games anymore. I think they've moved away from that. They'll happily pay someone to make a video game, or rather charge them to use their license, I guess is probably how it works more. But I don't think they want to spend the money to initiate that stuff. So I'd wonder who outside of like an Amazon could pick them up to give them that satisfaction that they're looking for. I mean, really, it should just be like EA and Ubisoft. They should merge together and be like, yo, we're the last true independent non-console maker owned studios here. The coalition of unconsolized games or whatever.
Unconsolized. Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, because the next news story here, Dominic, I also got Sony and Tencent have agreed to a partnership to purchase 30% of From Software. So the guys who make, Dark Souls and all that shit.
You got some music going on back there.
Yeah, can you hear that?
Yeah. Is your daughter playing the xylophone or something?
Yep, that's exactly what it is. So yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Another company that's not fully bought out, but
yeah. So both of them disport there, but they say the biggest shareholder is still some other company. What's that other company?
Yeah.
Are they Chinese too?
Hey, I wasn't familiar with it. I don't think so. I think it's whoever the original ownership was. And the main owner is Kadokawa, and they are a Japanese conglomerate. So it's still Japanese owned.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how that would work. Are Japanese companies allowed to be owned by Chinese companies?
Are they allowed to? I mean, don't they have much of a choice now?
At this
Maybe
point,
back in the early 1900s, they were the big dogs, but
yeah.
But that war happened.
Now you bring the money to the table. You gotta sell.
The war that took away their military power happened. So I mean. They ain't got no choice.
They chose the wrong side, Dominic. They chose the wrong side. All right. Next up, Dominic, we got Halo Infinite. The co-op campaign is finally coming on November 8th, as well as some other updates, including the Forge beta, and there are 2 new multiplayer levels.
We said this. I said it's probably I was just joking, but I was saying, what if it's like a year later? There'd just be like a whole re-release, basically.
Second launch.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is, because technically it came out December.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but still, it's a year. It's November 8th. I mean, It was supposed to come out November at one point last year. It was supposed to come out earlier than that too. But anyway, yeah, because it says it's gonna be the biggest update ever and shit. And I'm like, dude, this is basically a relaunch. This is so damn sad. Like, what happened? I wonder what happened in development that you couldn't get co-op in there.
COVID, Dominic, COVID.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's what we're always going to tell you.
And now it's monkeypox going to be the excuse.
And now it's monkeypox. Yep. Can't put out my games because of monkeypox. All right, Dominic. And then September is supposed to be, or allegedly going to be, a pretty big month for video game news. A lot of people are alleging that there's going to be a Nintendo Direct this month, which could have some of the bigger things for the end of the year, like a potential Metroid Prime remaster or remake for the Nintendo Switch, possibly a collection of Zelda games like the Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. I still feel like they would just sell both of those games for $60 because Nintendo were assholes.
Yeah.
But if they put them out together, that's probably the only way I would end up picking up Twilight Princess.
I mean, that's the only way, yeah. That'll be the only way.
I want Wind Waker. I would love to play that Wind Waker HD, but I'm not so enthusiastic about Twilight Princess. So there's that. There's, of course, Tokyo Game Show is coming up. But next week, Ubisoft is also doing a Ubisoft Forward, I think they're called, on September 10th. Mm-hmm. But ahead of that, some stuff leaked out regarding the new Assassin's Creed game. So basically Ubisoft was like, all right, we admit it, it's happening. So it's going to be called Assassin's Creed Mirage. It's going to be set in Baghdad. And apparently it's going to be more stripped down, like less RPG features, and closer to like one of the original games, one of the earlier games.
So what kind of game is this again? Is it still the online thing?
No, this is separate from that like fully online thing that they're also doing, the live service game or whatever they're doing that's supposed to be set in Japan, or at least the first portion of it is set in Japan because, it's a live game, so they're going to do more stuff. So I'm intrigued to see what this is going to be, because I haven't really played a ton of the newer ones, but just from you talking about like how much stuff is in there, it's a point where it's like, I like getting into these games and I like doing everything, but there's no way I would be able to do that with one of those games. So I find myself just like, I'll pass on it for now. Meanwhile, the first up until 3, it was like I got to play every one of these games. So I would like to see like a more short, a shorter experience, more focused experience from one of these Assassin's Creed games. And we'll see more about it next week. So the 10th, that means it's probably happening after we record next week. So I guess in 2 weeks from now, we'll be talking about what they announced for that. So.
Awesome. But I mean, that's pretty cool. Like, because I do want a stripped down version is still, I mean, what does that mean? Because these games were huge these last years, and it took hours for me to beat. I didn't even play the DLC, just the main game. And so I want to know, like, stripped down mean if it's stripped down to even just what it used to be. That's still a big game, but that's actually good. I mean, it's better than what it was.
It's more manageable.
Exactly. So I hope it is at least, I hope it's not bloated. It still doesn't feel. I hope it doesn't feel bloated. But like set in Baghdad, like what year in Baghdad? Is this like current times?
I'm not into actually, apparently it's like tied in some way to the Viking one, Valhalla. Like apparently it's related to the villain in that. So I don't know who. I mean, I didn't play that one, so I don't know.
Oh, I know who the villain
was involved.
Is I guess I did at a time when I played it, but now I forgot. I kind of think I know though. Okay, I kind of remember.
It seems like maybe it was like started out as an expansion, and maybe that's something we talked about at one point, because I feel like I remember hearing something about that. But basically, like it was an expansion that ended up being fleshed out a little bit more and becoming a full thing. But yeah, so we'll see how that goes in a couple of days. I'm excited for November gaming news. Yeah, because they're also next weekend, I think, is D23, the Disney stuff, where they're going to have video game stuff like the Amy Hennig game.
Just have Assassin's Creed, the Zulu tribe, something or something somewhere in Africa. They should do that.
They probably should, but also maybe they just don't have the team to like.
That's okay.
Handle that appropriately.
You can go ahead.
Hollywood does. Why not?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do Wakanda. This made up city or make up city. Like
don't forget, Dominic, that Black Panther game is being made. So
that's
allegedly,
right.
So
But they could just do that, like be on the backs, like just carry, like just do something off what they do. If it comes good, just do that.
I wonder if we see like a Black Panther game that succeeds, do we see like more Wakanda-esque games, or do we just go, okay, that's a comic book game, so of course that's gonna have been popular, you know?
Yeah.
I wonder what direction.
Because I don't say, I mean, I'm just jokingly saying that with the Assassin's Creed, because I don't see a way you do it and it works. Like, I just don't see it.
I wonder if their thing is also like, what are you? I mean, they've done numerous different places now that don't necessarily have the architecture of like the early European, Middle Eastern ones, but like running across roofs and stuff. I wondered how they would do that. Yeah. So that is the video game news I had for the week, Dominic. Did you see anything else?
I guess not. Nah, I'm good.
All right. We got PlayStation Plus games and Xbox games for gold because it is the start of the month. PlayStation Plus this month is going to have Need for Speed Heat, as well as Grand Blue Fantasy Versus and Toem.
What's Toem?
Not too bad. Toem looks like a smaller indie game. I feel like I had seen it somewhere before. It's black and white, and it's got this little like, I don't even know how to describe him, what his character is, but it seems like you're basically going around exploring these worlds and taking photographs of stuff. It's a cute little kind of adventure game. So that looks neat. It's got an overwhelmingly positive review on Steam. And then for Xbox games for gold, you have Gods Will Fall, Double Kick Heroes, Thriveville, and Portal 2. Did you play Double Kick Heroes? I feel like we talked about that at some point. It's the one where you're a band in a car and you're.
Oh yes, I did.
Basically like a rhythm game. I thought you had.
I think that was on Game Pass. Maybe that'll be the only way I played
that
it. Right?
Sounds right. Yeah.
Or unless it was a demo, because I know I didn't buy it. It didn't come with games to go because somebody would have complained about it. But so yeah, it had to be Game Pass then.
Yeah. Yeah, that game looks all right.
Goodville, I mean, I always wanted to play. I mean, I mean, that was a long time ago. Portal 2 is great. I mean, that to be the last of the games for gold from Xbox 360, I guess that's a good last game. Sprang over. And Gods Will Fall, I've seen that before.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know what it is. Is it isometric view?
Is that the one that is like... That was like, oh, this is Hades.
Oh yeah, I think that was.
Yeah, I think it's that. Yeah, it's isometric view. It looks like it's that kind of game.
Oh, I'm getting tired because it's
but more
time.
Cartoony.
My nap time. But no, but like PlayStation, yeah, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, them getting that game, that's cool because I played a little of it and I just wasn't in the state of mind to play something like that, but having a chance now. Since I did hook up my PlayStation 4 back up, maybe I'll play that. But so many games. But yeah, they
absolutely.
I mean, they've always, not always, but lately they have been getting better games than Xbox.
They've been more consistent, yeah.
Because Xbox, with the Game Pass, is kind of, I mean, I don't think it's hard to just choose not to. They choose not to.
Yeah. And in the expanded PlayStation stuff now as part of that library, they're also adding Deathloop. So that's cool.
Oh yeah,
you've got the higher tiers.
And Deathloop got to be announced soon for Xbox.
Yeah, we are coming up on the anniversary of that, aren't we? So I wonder where we would see that.
That's the thing. It's like, wasn't under contract? They couldn't even announce when the game can be announced. like come out.
I feel like you probably don't announce that before the year is up. But let's see, when did Deathloop come out? Because that was part of the Game of Year discussions last year. Because I was thinking it was like early this year for some reason, but it came out last year, right?
Yeah.
Please date. I could see that being September 14th. So we could be mere days away, Dominic. Do you think they would just be like, "Hey, this is done. It's up on Game Pass now"?
I think they are.
Or do you think they would announce it ahead of time?
Man, I think they would have to advertise for it, right? They have to make a big deal about it. I mean, that's a new game still.
Yeah. But you could do that at the same time.
I mean, yeah,
I know.
Build
anticipation.
Okay, yeah. But then, yeah, I think they would bring it on this little Game Pass, just come out.
I think that would be. Now, I don't know if you want to wait that long. I mean, it's only like 2 months, but like if at the Game Awards, right? You just say like, "Hey, and now on Game Pass, Deathloop," and then people are like, "Oh my god!"
No, they're not.
That PlayStation 5 game.
No, they're gonna be like they already played it or something. I'll say, we already played it.
Pretty much. Yeah, but yeah, I'm excited to eventually play Deathloop. I mean, obviously, I've got a PC. I could have played it, but if it's going to be on Game Pass, I'm going to wait until it's going to be on Game Pass. I'm already paying for that. So, all right, Dominic, anything else before we get into new releases?
Nah, go ahead, man.
All right, new releases. Tinykin, I already mentioned that. That is out on the PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series consoles. So that's everywhere. I like it a lot. Give it a try. We also got Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed Edition. That's now out on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series.
Because this is the one where they said, we're not making a past-gen version. Now, I want to know, does it look like it's next-gen?
I don't think so. not in the way you would want it to justify like not being able to release on those consoles.
I feel like that's bullshit. Then that's what's.
Man, Dominic,
And
we're like 2 years into those consoles. How much they just want to give up on.
How much it costs? It costs only $40 too. It's not even a full price game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good, but it also tells me that you just saying it's just going to be on next console just because. Like, you're not.
Oh, yeah, it's 100% arbitrary. Well, it's not arbitrary. I mean, they're looking at the numbers. They're like, we're not going to sell enough on those old consoles to justify us putting it out on them. And
even though,
we're not going to do that.
They could just be digital.
I mean, they could be, but it's still work to make it on that.
Now look at this game. It don't look like that much work that need to be on that old one. Like this,
they really should just make the other one for backwards compatible or whatever.
I was about to say they could
figure out how to do that. Put an emulator out on those old consoles. Yeah.
All right, Dominic, next up. Here's the thing. Maybe for them, it makes sense. But it don't make sense to me for people who own the new consoles. Like, because people was happy who own new consoles say, yeah, it's about time they just focus on new things. But I was like, if it don't look as good as to be on a new console, what does it fucking matter?
Right. Yeah. What's the difference? Outside of limiting it to your thing only. Yeah, it's not like they're putting more resources into it because maybe they are, but maybe it's not in where you're being seen. But if that's the case, then you're just probably getting a half finished game otherwise. So it's we're 2 years into these consoles being out. I understand why people are looking to have stuff exclusively on the consoles and the focus moved away from the last gen consoles. But at the same time, it's like, one, we're still having trouble being able to get access to those consoles. And two, like, what difference does it make? Like, they're the same architecture at this point. Is basically like making a high and low powered version for the PC. Just make it work. All right. Next up, Dominic, we got Immortality. This is out on PC, Xbox Series, consoles, iOS, and Android. This is the new game from the developer of Her Story. I forget his name right now because I am silly. But it's another one of those style FMV kind of games, Sam Barlow, where you're taking pieces of a video and trying to puzzle them together to solve this mystery, basically. It is part of Game Pass, so I might give it a try at some point, but still haven't really put any time into Telling Lies. And like, Her Story was a really cool experience, but I don't know if it's something that's dragging me back to it, just watching FMV clips. What do you think?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Daniel. I wasn't paying attention. I was reading the review on Destroy All Humans. I was trying to see if it was good. What game are we talking about?
Did they say it's bad?
Yeah. Yes.
Immortality. The new Sam Barlow game.
Wait a minute. Sam Barlow? Who's Sam Barlow?
Sam Barlow is the guy that did Her Story.
Oh,
and
okay.
Telling Lies.
All right.
Which you played some of Telling Lies,
yeah,
right?
I played some of Telling Lies. That's what I played. Okay, I mean, that's interesting. Is there like a famous actor in this?
I don't recognize anybody instantly, but it is.
Well, I know
it's basically about an actress in this one.
I think in Telling Lies, it was Wonder Woman were from Westworld, and
okay.
I mean, they probably are actors in some smaller show or something that we just don't know about.
I was gonna say it might just be somebody that I don't recognize. That doesn't mean anything.
So, but I mean, yeah, I'm not really interested in those kind of games. I mean, after playing Telling Lies, it didn't hit me. It didn't click with me. So, I mean, for people who do like those games, that's great. But why is this just on PlayStation 4 and PS5?
Inscription?
Yeah. Oh, no.
Because it previously came out.
Okay, what are we talking about? Inscription or Immortality?
We were talking about Immortality.
Okay.
That's out on PC, Xbox, iOS, and Android.
Then why is it not out on the PlayStation?
Plus, it's on Game Pass.
Why is it not on the PlayStation then?
Dominic, you don't care about PlayStation.
Well, I have to pretend I care.
Okay. give everybody equal time. I get it.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to Inscription. We do have that out on the PS4 and PS5 now. That was previously on the PC exclusively. So hasn't quite made it to the Xbox yet. But they are doing console versions now. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that relatively soon. Yeah, that game seems pretty all right for people looking for that. I enjoyed the demo, but I wouldn't necessarily want to play a whole lot more of that because it's a lot about deck building. And I know it subverts that a little bit later on in the game, but getting to that point, I still don't know if I'm willing to put that time in. Next up, Dominic, Lego Brawls. This is the Lego Smash Brothers alike. It was previously out on Apple Arcade for about 2 years now and is now coming out on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. So there you go. Another one of those, probably not as good as Multiverses. So get the fuck out of here. We also got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga Collection. You talked about that earlier. That's out on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series consoles. It's got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games in it, and as you said earlier, it's got a lot of nice packaging around it too, with the ads and all that stuff. So good presentation, might be worth it. You and I were talking about it, like that game really should have come out before the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game as like building excitement for it. Because now you just have that to compare it to, and you're like, oh yeah, these games are nostalgic, but they're not as good as that.
Oh yeah, I didn't talk about the online. The online, it's only for 4 games up there, not for all of them. But it's Turtles in Time, or I think the arcade and the arcade 2. And I think the Fighters tournament, and I don't think the Nintendo game. I forgot what the 4th game is, but it's I mean, some people were saying like, oh, they want to play some of the original, like Super Nintendo one, kind of online and things of that nature. And I feel you, but they just, I guess they say, look, we're going to just have it for one of those type of games. We're going to pick the best one, and the best one is arcade version of each of those games, instead of playing the console one. So I kind of understand. Man, I wish it was all of them you could just play online, just like some of the Nintendo games do, now on the Nintendo online service
online pass.
Yeah. But hey, I mean, this is better. This is still better than a lot of other classic packages have done.
Yeah, that's good. All right, then, Dominic, we got the big one. We got The Last of Us Part 1 for the PS5.
Okay.
The most unnecessary game ever.
Part 1, PS5. Okay, look. This got, I mean, the views are good because, I mean, it was already a good game. So, absolutely. That's not telling anything, really. I mean, it's telling you that they didn't fuck it up. They didn't do something stupid. Fuck it up. But it was still, like I said, it was so not needed. Like, just looking at this game and looking at, like somebody said, like, it doesn't play like Part 2. Like, that's what a lot of people were saying. A lot of people I kept seeing who was justifying this game was saying, if it's Last of Us and it plays like Part 2, that's good, because Part 2 makes the controls a whole lot better. But from I thought initially
they were indicating that it was going to be something like that.
And from what I read, it still plays like the old game. It looks better. Yeah. And that's what some people are upset about, is that I mean, it looks better, but it's not worth full price. Like, they charging you $60 or $70 for it. I don't know what it is. $70 for it.
Yep.
And it just looks better. And then there's some people would say, well, if the game like improves and looks better, it should. Why not? I say, because you can do that to any game. You can do that for any freaking game, and just like, hey, we're gonna work on a game we just made less than 10 years ago, and we're gonna make it look a whole lot better now with this new consoles or new hardware on the PC or whatever. And it's like, do we need it though? I mean, you can put your time in something else. Put your resources in another game, a new game.
Especially like I don't know if this is reductive, but The Last of Us feels like such such an emotional roller coaster that, like, how many people are replaying that game? Like, how many people played that game and said, this is amazing, I never want to play it again? And how many people said, this is amazing, I need to the spoilers over and over again?
Yeah, see, I mean, that's what I always said about Naughty Dog games for me.
Yeah.
The gameplay wasn't there, that it was a story. So I would have to spend a lot of time having not played the game in a while for me to play it again. It would have to be like a long while, because the gameplay is what, like, man, I'm gonna come back and do this shooting in Uncharted, and
yeah.
Or Last of Us is like, yeah, it's like it's so draining, and I mean, it's a stealth type of game. Now, some people like the gameplay. See, I didn't, so I definitely want to come back for the gameplay. And the story is something it's not a story I want to keep looking at, like seeing. I think I'm good. Now, in old Naughty Dog games like Crash Bandicoot or Jak and Daxter, yeah, I didn't mind going back playing them again. I mean, because they were more about the gameplay than the story. Yeah. So, yeah, they went a different route, which is not bad, but it's just, yeah, for certain people, I always wonder, like, replayability with these games is different. Because, like, I look at Gears. Gears has a decent story. It's not like Uncharted or Last of Us, but it's good enough. Yeah. But the gameplay was good. That's why I didn't mind playing, like, my friends over again. Because the actual shooting was good, and doing everything, like, all the gameplay elements of the game was good. Halo, the story sucks, but the gameplay is that's what it is, man. It's just the gameplay. It's the multiplayer and stuff with that, and like the shooting is great, and so you don't mind going through that stupid story because you just like shooting the aliens and everything. I mean, it's a lot of games like that, but like with Uncharted, and I think that's why even with God of War, the new God of War, anyway. I've been wanting to say I'm going to go back, but then I just don't, because I still remember the story, and it's like the story was much bigger than the gameplay. Even though I enjoyed the gameplay more than what I did in Uncharted, I did like it, but it was so story driven that it was like I have to take a step back. Like while in the old God of War, it was so gameplay focused more so than the story. Even the story was good, but it was so that it was in a different way that I didn't mind, like, hey, doing a new game plus or something, like, right away. Like, I played it again right away. I didn't mind doing that. It's just the type of games those games are with Sony, that they're good. I mean, except for, okay, Ratchet & Clank is different. Like, I think that's replayability. Is with that game. But the other games are so much focused on story that I look at it almost like a movie. I don't. Now, some movies, it's a movie that takes about 18 hours or 20 hours to watch, though. So that's a lot of time. While at the movie I did like, and I wanted to see it again, that's only at the most 2 hours. Or 2 hours, or it's just like a long Marvel movie, 2.5 hours. But it's shorter. It's a much shorter time. So it's hard for me to just say, like, I'm gonna go back and play this game because like it's too long, and I want to have some time to do other things. That's it with me. This type of games. It's not the same as back in the day with some of these games that were story driven, because the gameplay elements kept me going. Like Metal Gear Solid, there were so many different ways you could go about a stage. There wasn't one way to do it. So even though it was a lot of cutscenes of story, excuse me, the gameplay was kind of open. You can go and shooting your way out of shit. Even though it's a little harder. Or you can do stealth, and you can do it different ways. Like, hey, I want to hide this guy in the locker room this time, or I want to get this guy, hide him somewhere else, or do something, play with this guy and like keep fucking with him or something like that. It was just so open. These games aren't like that. Now I know. I mean, yeah, you could go like, oh, I can do a different way to shoot somebody on Uncharted, but it's not much you can do different than that game. I mean, I say, well, Last of Us is probably a little more open, the way you can go about a stage to like stealthy, but it's not like a fun way. I don't know. It doesn't seem a way like I want to play a whole game to do that over again. It's never got that feeling for me. I mean, so what do you say about that?
For me, it's weird because it's a game that I've never beaten, so I wouldn't be against going back and playing it. Now, $70 and upgraded graphics, I don't know if that's necessary. They just released I say just, but they've released the PS4 version of that game. I think that looked fine. And if it plays the same, then there's not a lot of justification there for me to worry about going for the newest version. Now, obviously, if I were to play it now and I had a PS5, which I don't yet, then yeah, I would obviously play this version because it is now the best version of it out there.
Yeah.
But it just, if this never existed, I would have been perfectly fine.
I think everybody would. Everybody would. There's nobody who asked for this. There was literally nobody. The people who are happy they heard about it though, but they didn't ask for it.
Absolutely.
They were fine. They were fine. Still talk about 2.
Yep. Yeah. And that's kind of where I'm at with it. It's just like, what could a team of clearly very skilled people have done if they weren't working on this? Give me that instead, which I say that, but it probably would have just been an Uncharted 1 remake then, right? Which at least that maybe would have been a little more justified, but I don't know. I don't know that I would need to play that either.
No, I think
unless they change something significant about it, I really don't think I would be interested in playing that, because by the time I got to 4,
I would rather
just
do
like
Jack
you,
and
I
Dexter.
enjoyed the story.
Do a Jack and Dexter remake.
I mean, if that were a potential thing, then now we're talking. But like Uncharted, by the time I got to 4, I was still into the story, but I just put on like auto aim and turned it down to the easiest so I could breeze through all those combat encounters because I didn't care about playing that stuff. Like, I'd happily do like the jumping and the climbing stuff. I like that, but combat encounters were like neither here nor there. So if I can just get through them, I'm happy.
That's what it was for me. I mean, I didn't mind the climbing stuff either, but I was like, I think I was done with the shooting. I was like, let's get this on with. Let's get to the end. Let's see what I'm going to do with my brother.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for a lot of it, the Tomb Raider games that were coming out on like the Xbox 360, I thought gameplay wise were superior to those games. You know, they had a lot more puzzle solving and kind of interesting setups and set pieces in those games than Uncharted was doing. As far as like, you know, Uncharted obviously had its huge set pieces, but it was usually pretty simplistic. It was just like climb following this one path. It wasn't like, here, try and find these pieces to do this thing and then solve this puzzle or whatever. So, all right, Dominic, those are our new releases for the week. Did you have anything else for the people?
Nah, I'm good, man.
All right. Thank you guys as always for listening. You can check us out on Twitter. Dominic is at DStalworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. The podcast is at SUPAPod, SUPAPod. SUPAPod.com is the website. You can check us out there. It has links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and any other place you might want to find a podcast. And until next time, guys, we'll talk to you later.
All right, see ya.